Cyril Gane is not your typical heavyweight.
It's not a joke.
He might look like one, but he certainly doesn't move like a man his size. He certainly doesn't fight like those other guys. Bon Gamin might just be the division's demise. Against Derrick Lewis in Houston, the French won the interim title with a flawless performance. But what makes him so special? Let's see. The fight starts. Right away, Gane opens up in the southpaw stance, throwing very light kicks to verify the available targets. This is why some casuals call him a boring fighter, but in reality, this guy is devastating because he adopts a calm yet explosive approach. 1 second, he's bouncing on his feet, the other, he's unleashing attacks out of nowhere. And for his opponent, it's very hard to anticipate when he's gonna throw, because he sets up his strikes so effectively. He might catapult the jab now, or now, or now, and when you don't expect it, that's when he throws it. Cyril Gane's feints are simply the best we've ever seen in the heavyweight division, but the scary thing about this is that his feints aren't even the strongest part of his game. His movement is. Cyril Gane is by far the most mobile heavyweight in history. Look here, Derrick Lewis tries to pressure Gane by taking the outside foot, forcing Cyril to circle into his power hand. Gane immediately recognizes what's up, and while staying aware of Derrick's best weapons, he moves out of the way without taking any risks and retakes control of the octagon. 30 seconds later, Lewis tries to blitz forward again, but Gane jumps backwards. Yes, you heard it right, he literally jumps out of range, creating major distance between him and his opponent. How frustrating must that be for Lewis, who simply cannot reach Gane no matter how hard he tries. He's looking to cut him off, and oh, finally he's moving towards the big right, and never mind, he's already direction changed to the other side. Cyril is simply not allowing Lewis to get remotely close to his ideal range, because he's so explosive with his movement, equally as explosive as when he decides to strike. Look here, Gane 100% looks like he's just resetting. He's casually placing one foot in front of the other, and without warning, he launches a beautiful head kick. This is actually so impressive to be able to do that, and it just proves that the fight IQ matches the skills. Here's another great example. Cyril bounces around calmly. He looks like he's putting his foot down, but at the last second, he propulses himself with his rear leg and explodes towards Lewis, hitting him with a very nice one too. That attack is so well disguised. He's making it appear like a normal left step, but he's not putting any weight on his leg, and then explosion. Insane twitchy footwork, massive distance covered. What can Lewis possibly do? And like it wasn't enough, Cyril Gane is gonna use his last attack as a setup for the next one, which comes only a few seconds later. If you're Lewis, what's the last attack you've seen? A jab, a cross. That's what you're worried about. So what does Gane do? He throws a jab feint, causing a big parry reaction from Lewis. Then he throws the cross feint, and again, Lewis tries to block the attack with his arms, not expecting the monstrous leg kick coming his way. Brilliant gamin. And now, Lewis is expecting a jab feint, so it's the perfect time to throw the actual jab. Fast, precise, destructive. 5 minutes of dominance in the books. Second round. Gane's kick is caught by Lewis, who tries to quickly counter, but Cyril's defense is remarkable. He leans out of the way of the right hand, and then he completely rotates his body with his elbow to get back into position. He lifts his other elbow to block the second strike. He puts his right arm on the inside of the clinch, drives an underhook with that same arm, and finally, he uses Lewis's momentum to throw him off. Right after that, the Black Beast advances, but he's instantly stopped in his tracks by the athleticism of a ballerina, who can go backwards as fast as forwards. In the clinch, the utter dominance continues, knees to the thigh, shoulder strikes, held together by underhooks and head position. But that's not all. Look here, Gane has control. He drops his level, effectively bringing Derrick's head down with him, because Derrick has to worry about a potential takedown, and to defend it, he needs to keep that arm positioned into Gane's armpit, right there. As a result, Cyril's downward motion will surely drag Derrick's upper body down, head included. And that's exactly what the French had predicted. Out of the blue, Cyril fires a Yair Rodriguez elbow, intercepting the poor beast in its hometown. That exquisite attack is followed by yet another elbow strike. Lewis is getting desperate, and we can't blame him. After all, even the cameraman struggles to keep up with Gane's movement. Third round. Cyril is putting more and more power behind his kicks, and as any great striker, he uses their effectiveness as a threat. Look, right after landing a big one on Lewis, he moves like he's gonna throw another one. He rotates his hips the same way as he normally would for any leg kick, and he sells it even more by looking down. But instead of the expected attack, he fires a huge right over the top, almost surprising Lewis. And a few seconds later, he feints the low kick again, this time followed by a nice one too. Derek has no idea what's coming anymore. Lost, he cannot check the kicks. Hell, he can't even reach his opponent. At the moment, Gane is simply playing with him. And it's the beginning of the end. Here, he masterfully fakes a body kick, making Derek react heavily. With the reaction opening up a target and an angle, Cyril uses the momentum of his feint to switch his stance moving forward, and he exploits the opening with a scary elbow. Not as scary as the accumulated stats though. Absolutely crazy disparity, especially in the leg kick category. This one is the 37th of its kind. Although you can never count the Black Beast out, it seems like he knows now how this fight's gonna end. Because Gane is relentless. Kick feint, jab feint, Lewis retreats, solid jab, crisp uppercut, Cyril repeats, spotless connections, target selections, perfection. Cyril Gane is not tired, swinging for the fences, his offenses, fire at Derek's expense. Hence the fact that the entire suspense is not even present anymore. The beast's senses getting pounded to the floor, that's enough. We have a new interim champion. A beautiful performance from Cyril Gane. He showed great patience. He didn't give any sort of opening to the dangerous Derek Lewis. He hit his legs, his body, his face, while displaying incredible movement. And after the win, he didn't even look surprised. I think he knows how good he is. He's just that humble. And Gane versus him should be an amazing fight. If you like this video, you know what to do. And why not subscribe as well. Alright guys, see ya.